I've got the rules for life. Stick around, watch this video, and find out what they are. Hello my friends, and welcome to The Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua, and I help others make simple changes to create a life of awesome. Welcome my friends, and thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you're enjoying the content, and if you are, please make sure to subscribe so that we can spread the word faster and larger to create a simple, sober life. All right my friends, so I found this article on a simple thing called life. And it's called the 7 Rules for Life. So of course it piqued my interest, and so I had to check it out. And I wanted to see exactly how many of these things actually apply to my own life. And hopefully you can do the same. So the first rule is make peace with your past so it doesn't disturb your present. And I can totally, absolutely relate to this. You know, it's so easy for me to kind of think about things in the past that have either been done to me or that I've done to others, and I'll get that thought in my head and it'll just start spinning around and around and around and around, and before I'm able to snap out of it, you know, at least several minutes have passed, if not like an hour. And the thing is, it doesn't just go away. It keeps rotating in my head, you know, for days. It's funny, I was sitting on the sofa with my sister and her family. We were just watching TV, and my sister's husband, Brian, mentioned a time when one of my other sisters came to Florida and didn't visit me, even though I lived there. And we were only like an hour away. And, you know, I was really butthurt about it. And, you know, I hadn't thought about that in years. And it's kind of become a joke now. But, you know, he said that a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And every once in a while, it'll still pop up in my head. And I'm like, you know what? I'm still a little butthurt about that. And it's crazy letting those little past things kind of live up inside of my head and allowing it to take away from what I'm doing right now. And so, you know, trying to recognize that that's going on and being able to manage it and not necessarily push it out, but maybe deal with it right now so that it doesn't keep happening. Because the more it keeps happening, for me, the less I'm able to focus on what I'm doing right now and less able to move forward. So get rid of those things from the past, deal with them, push them aside because they're in the past for a reason. Another thing that they mention is what others think of you is none of your business. This is kind of funny because I'm sure I'm not the only one, but if I walk into a room and people are whispering, or I walk past a crowd and people are whispering, the first thought in my head is, I wonder what they're saying about me. I wonder if they're talking about me. Do they like me? Are they saying good things? Are they saying bad things? I wonder if they know about that. It's crazy because all that's really doing is feeding my ego to believe that I am so important that everyone is always having a conversation about me. And when I step outside myself and think about it like that, it's insane. You know, people have thoughts and conversations about everything all the time that have nothing to do with me. And you know what? Even if they are talking about me, the only thing that I can do is, you know, let it go and ignore it, because it truly is none of my business. If they've got a personal opinion about me, good or bad, it doesn't really need to affect my life. It doesn't really need to affect what I'm doing, my purpose, and my values, and what I'm trying to accomplish. And so letting it go, it's none of my business. Let it go. And I am almost positive at work people are talking about me. I don't know why, but maybe that's that ego trying to get fed because I'm important. You know, people are always talking about me because I'm so interesting. Well, I am. I am really interesting. But that doesn't mean they're always talking about me. The article goes on to say that time heals almost everything. And it does. It heals almost everything. You know, some wounds fester for a long, long time. But the pain that we had in that moment is no longer as deep. It's no longer, you know, as miserable as it was at that time. You know, I've had a couple of instances in growing up where, you know, when I think back, you know, I'm hurt and, you know, it causes me pain. But it's nowhere near the severity that it was when it was actually happening. Now, it may take a very, very long time and some outside help in order to be able to move past that and actually kind of close up that wound. We'll never forget, but we can actually manage the way that we deal with our past and the things that have happened to us so that we can become a fuller and better person for it. The fourth rule of the 7 rules for life is that no one is in charge of your happiness but you. And the sooner that we figure this out, the better off we will be. I cannot and will not depend my happiness on someone else making me happy anymore. And I did this for a long, long time. And the reason that I depended on other people to make me happy was because I wasn't happy with myself. And, you know, I would get into relationships and I would expect my partner to make me ecstatic and make me feel loved and cherished and make me laugh and all that. And all of those are great, but I expected it. I expected them to make me happy. And that's a lot of stress to put on someone else, you know, especially if you're not able to do it for yourself. You know, now, you know, I'll just have thoughts and conversations in my head and I'll start laughing out loud. If I can't make myself happy, then the bottom line is no one else is, because we're going to be so internally miserable that no outside joy can actually fully complete and fulfill what's missing on the inside. And so we really need to work inside in order to make ourselves happy before we can allow other people to kind of join in on that happiness. So do whatever it takes to make yourself happy. The article goes on to say, don't compare yourself to others. And I've been preaching on this for weeks now. You know, in every single course that I've given, every single video that I talk about, you know, growing and you know, moving forward, always mentions not comparing yourself. And believe me, I have been the biggest, you know, playing the victim, or not playing the victim, but the biggest, criminal at, you know, comparing myself to others. I've done it my entire life. And the only thing that it has done is made me feel less than. And I'm to the point in my life where I'm tired of feeling less than, because I'm comparing myself to people who have had a completely different journey than myself. You know, I have gone through ups and downs. I've gone through some amazing times in my life and had experiences that no one else on the planet has had. And I've gone through really, really lows. to get to where I am. And I can't compare that journey to someone else's based on what their outside appearances look like. You know, how much money they have, what kind of car they drive, what kind of house they have, what kind of relationship they have, the friends they hang out with, where they work, and all that other stuff. I can't compare myself because their journey has been completely different from mine. And I'm not 100% on where, you know, I'm headed, but I know that I'm headed on an awesome path. And I know that I'm headed in the right direction because I feel it in my heart. And, you know, it's taken me a long time to feel like that. And I can't compare my feeling right now of fulfillment and joy to someone else's outside extremities. You know, there's so much more going on below the surface that we don't see. And so to compare that it's unfair to you. It's unfair to me. For me to compare myself to someone else, it's unfair to me, and we deserve better. Another rule of life that this article provides is don't think too much. This one I have a huge problem with, even still. You know, I've got a lot of balls up in the air. I'm going to school. I'm starting a business. I'm, doing a full-time job, trying to build relationships, trying to get healthier. You know, I've got a lot of things going on. And so my mind, I wake up at between 2:30 and 3 in the morning. And as soon as I wake up, my mind starts going. All right, I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, let's do this, let's focus on this, and then I start thinking. And my brain just goes and goes and goes and goes. And it's non-stop until I'm almost ready to pass. Well, not almost ready, until I pass out in front or on the sofa. But it's not just that, but I overthink so much, you know, going into a situation. I will think about every little aspect, and I'll have everything planned out so that I know that when this person says this, I'm going to say this. And when they do this, I'm going to do that. And so I think and think and think and think. But you know what? It's okay not to have the answer. That almost vomited when it came out of my mouth. But I want to know it all. I really do. I want to prove how smart I am. I want to prove how much I know. It's stressful. It's really stressful. And I found myself several times throughout the day just taking a step back when my mind's going, because I'm thinking about one of the 1,000 things that I'm trying to accomplish. I have to take a step back. I have to take a deep breath in and let my mind clear. Just kind of let everything go. I have to let everything out and let it go and just be present and stop thinking for a minute, because otherwise I think my head might explode. And the last one is smile. Sorry, I had to look at my notes. Smile. You don't own the world's problems. Now that is a relief. How many of us are wanting to help everyone? How many of us want to take on other people's problems as well as our own? You know, it becomes a burden when, you know, you self-proclaim to be the fixer of everything and of everyone. It's so frustrating because a majority of the time they don't take your advice and they don't get fixed the way that you want them to. But it's even bigger when you've got your own problems to worry about. And so we can relax and we can smile because we don't have to solve everyone else's problems. The only one that we need to worry about is ourselves. You know, focus on working on ourselves because indirectly that will probably help other people. And that is cool. One of my favorite things to say now is, not my problem. It is such a releasing expression. Not my problem. What? You forgot to, get this sheet of materials that you needed and you needed it yesterday? Not my problem. I'll get to it when I can. I mean, I've got other things that take priority. So, knowing your limits, knowing your boundaries, and knowing when it's not your problem is an awesome release. My friends, I hope you got value out of this. If you did, please make sure to comment down below. I would love to hear if you have any other rules for life that we all should live by. Let me know what they are down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. Thank you so much, my friends. Take care.